What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Let me move this leash. This video, first of all, sorry for leaving you hanging. I know I haven't produced any content in quite some time. If you've been following along on my Instagram or any of my other socials, you've seen that I've been dealing with like a bit of an injury, but now we're back up and we're walking again. Super excited about that, super grateful for that. But today we're going to be talking a little bit about what I'm going to be doing with this 6-month-old Aussie, as the Americans would like to pronounce. So her name's Blue. She's about 6 months old. She's completely green, and I have the wonderful opportunity to sort of take her through some things and, you know, build this relationship with her, and then we take this work, and then obviously we're going to help her owners build the same exact relationship. But today, beginning stages of, you know, building relationship status, and that's ultimately what dog training is for me. Is, you know, how strong could we make our relationship so that we can live life a little more gracefully, peacefully, and more pleasurably together. That's the whole point of dog training. But it does start with the foundation, and we do have the luxury and the opportunity, the rare opportunity, to start from a really young age. And you see me holding a leash, but we will not be using a leash today. A lot of people they're a little bit confused as to, you know, when we should start teaching the leash manners and things like this. Now, obviously, we're going to be teaching leash manners, but at this point in the game, it's just not at the top of the priority list. Well, what is at the top of the priority list? Well, we have to start with engagement marker training. We have to engage with this dog, and we have to teach the marker system. Now, for Blue here, we're going to be utilizing a clicker, and I have one of those clickers laying around here somewhere. A clicker looks a little bit like that, and it sounds a little bit like that. Oh, it looks like it's already starting to load up. Yes, good. So loading a clicker just means clicking it and giving the dog a piece of food. You know, she's bam. So that's just loading a marker. That's teaching that this thing has significance. It's going to be a little bit of a dopamine hit for her. So, you know, somewhere down the line, we can utilize this not only as just a marker, but we could also utilize it as an interrupter because it has such a positive influence on her. It's very, it's like, oh, I hear that sound, I get something. Dogs are very self-serving animals, and so we're constantly trying to like utilize that against them. A lot of engagement, a lot of food rewards, lots of rewards in general, especially at this point in the game. Very minimal pressure on a dog this young. It's all foundational work. It's all positive experiences. It's all engagement. It's all shaping obedience and just getting the dog used to some of these patterns that we're going to want to see somewhere down the line with them. But there's a lot more going on in these drills that you're about to see. There's a lot more happening than meets the eye. It's like, oh, okay. Well, Chad, you have, you know, three different platforms here. What's the difference between each one of them? Well, there is a difference. Not only is there a difference, good job. Let me get that leash. They're different heights. Okay, so they're different heights, which means they're going to be a different challenge. It's going to be a different look. There's different textures on top of the surfaces. This is like some old wood. That's some slippery plastic. And this is some sort of fabric on this elevated bed. So yeah, they pose different looks, different challenges, and this little confident puppy right here is likely going to have no problem conquering these challenges. So again, I told you guys this video was going to be a little bit all over the place because for me, I come out here and I can do all this shit and I know about all this. Like it's second nature to me, so you'll have to bear with me as I try to explain what I'm doing it, but more importantly, why I'm doing it. So what I'm doing, but more importantly, why I'm doing it. Good. So we're just going to pay that effort right there. Double click on the brake, get her to come away from it. Now let's see if we can get her all the way on it. Bam. Step on the other side of the mat, try to lure the rest of the dog's body onto it. Bam, and we just immediately brake because guys, we're not trying to put her in a prison straight away. I have absolutely no expectations of her to fucking stay on that thing for any longer than just a second. I'm super happy with her just coming across it and putting the feet on top of it. This is just called for me paying the effort. I'm just paying her for doing it. And then you'll start to see the dog more voluntarily because she's super confident naturally, but there's more skeptical dogs where it takes a little bit more of a process to get them to get onto a platform. She's just this blank canvas, this little confident blank canvas. So you're gonna see, you're just gonna see her kind of like more willing to just get up on a new thing without even questioning it. But of course, I'm also utilizing some motivation, which is just her meal, which is also just something to talk about really quickly, is a lot of people like to use dog treats while they train. For me, that's a bit of a waste in the event that your dog will take their kibble, right? You don't have to waste the money on dog treats. Good. If your dog is like keen to take the kibble, because they absolutely do not know the difference. But if you start giving them dog treats, the kibble is going to lose some of its value because it's not quite as good. So, I mean, for her, I'm going to free shape that engagement right there. That's something to talk about. She's just looking up at me, and because I'm just in this position where I want to like just mark and reward that good shit, that's free shape. She did it, she offered it, I love it, I'm gonna pay it. So that's a little bit of a description of what free shaping is. If I was gonna talk a little bit about like actually shaping something, I'd kind of put the food to her nose and I'd shape a front. That's like manually shaping a front. But had she just kind of voluntarily, there we go, she's just there, I'm gonna pay it. You see the difference there? Beautiful. So, oh Chad, well when are you gonna start incorporating sounds, commands? Not anytime soon. I just need to get these behaviors going, getting on the place, jumping up, performing a sit, you know, shaping a down. You can't see because it's out of screen right now. But when you have a green dog, you just can't expect them to really understand the significance of the sound until you've gone through the patterns, the behaviors. You shape it, you shape it, you free shape it, you shape it, and then you could put a sound to it. And then you put that sound to that same thing that they've done a million times. And this is how the dog is able to put the pieces of the puzzle together, but usually not a minute before then. Boom, we're gonna pay that. So I'm glad that we're producing this video because I'm gonna send this to the owners. I typically like to do 2 snaps when I break the dog. So if she's just in a sit, I use 2 snaps as an indication that, hey, 2 snaps, come get your payment. But if she's just gonna perform a sit, then it's just like a singular snap. Okay, we're very clear, and we paint a clear picture for the dog in all of our training, because we want the dog to understand what it is that we want from them. And we're the ones, you know, all this knowledge, all this information, it's to help you guys understand how to help the dog put the pieces of the puzzle together. There's a lot of people out there getting frustrated with their dogs, but they just simply haven't taught their dogs, and they're expecting more than what they've actually taught, which is unfortunate because it's not fair, right? How am I expected to know what the fuck to do if you're not teaching me properly? You know, you're getting mad at me when you're the actual dickhead. You need to get better. You need to do better for him, for her. But again, so for me, you know, good. So there's a lot of body movement too. So I don't know if you noticed, like just the 2 snaps doesn't really mean much to her right now. So what I do is I'll get her up here. I'll pay her for getting up, 2 snaps, but I'll also move quickly to try to be seductive to get her to follow the 2 snaps. So there's a little bit of nuance there. There's a little bit of trick of the trade there. Just gonna make sure that we're live. Absolutely beautiful, we're rolling. I said this is gonna be about a 10-minute video, and I could probably babble on and go on and go on and go on and go on. But the most valuable part about what we're doing today is we're engaging with her, we're teaching a marker system, and she's having a really good time doing it. And the thing that proves that she's having a good time doing this is how all of a sudden she's just voluntarily giving me engagement. That's why we're always gonna use something motivating for the dog. There are some jokesters out there that decide that they don't think food or any sort of encouragement or reward is necessary. I personally find that to be one of the most ridiculous ideas I've ever heard, because I'm not really one to want to work for free, right? If I'm going to get paid for something, I'm typically going to be working harder for that. It's going to encourage me to work because I know that there's something in it for me. And if there's anything that we probably all know accumulatively about dogs, is that they're very self-serving animals. They're very, very manipulative creatures. They always want to do what they want to do. And so if you understand this, you're going to be able to get a lot more out of the dog if you're able to formulate all these things and put something in it for the dog. The dog wants something. I'm counter-manipulating them. If they're doing all this good stuff with me, there's a high likelihood that they're not going to be off somewhere doing some mischievous shit, getting into something they shouldn't be getting into. Why? Well, because our relationship is super strong and she'd rather be fucking working for me. Guys, that's all I got for this video. I appreciate you tapping in. If you got something from it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. Check out all my shorts. I've been posting the shit out of my shorts and they're getting some decent views. And I did some math. If I continue to stay consistent on this platform, it's likely that within the next year I could become monetized on YouTube, which basically just means I get paid for my efforts. Not a whole lot of people sign up for my Patreon or support us in any other way. So I figured, well, if I could just put out valuable content and people watch it and like the video and share the video and subscribe to the channel, it's likely that I can just get paid for my efforts. And my goal is to help you guys become better dog owners, more informed dog owners, teaching the fairest way, the most appropriate way, and in my opinion, some of the most effective ways. I love you guys. Thanks for tapping in. I'm Captain Chad. We'll see you at the next one. Hey, place. Ah, yes. Can you jump over? That was a new one. All right, you guys. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments. You want to see a specific thing? Holler at your boy. Peace.